Okay, hi. So there was a great question here in the high level community about the frustration with support not being as responsive as the person expected. The thing I love about high level, yes, the technology is amazing. It's just mind-boggling to me how well integrated all of these functions are, and they are becoming. Um, But the thing that's really incredible is the people that are the company and the people that are the community that are of users who use high level. The company has created this culture of seeking input from the user community and actively soliciting our feedback in implementation and implementation in how to do the things that the platform is trying to accomplish. And the thing is that tech support has gotten much better from a technical perspective at how they deliver tech support. However, the reality is the platform is evolving so rapidly that even they can't keep up. So there's limitations in how well the high level support can resolve an issue. What I would advise is the easiest way to get a ticket escalated once you have a ticket is to post the comment here in the Facebook group with the ticket number, and and that lets the admins of the Facebook group take the ticket from the level 1 support staff to the level 2 developers to resolve the issue. If the level 1 people aren't able to resolve it on your behalf. I will also say specifically on the topic of the post that was made, um, WordPress is always going to be a superior website editor to the native web builder, funnel builder in high level. Um, as evidence of that, high level has made WordPress hosting a service because the expectation is that while the native builder has enough robust capability for someone building a basic websites, it doesn't have the array of features that are relevant to a WordPress type site that is a full featured bells and whistles kind of website. Um, so um, it is reasonable to be frustrated with high level. Um, it does so much, but there are these odd little gaps in how it does it, and there's inconsistencies buried in the way that it actually operates. So I'm going to address a couple of ways to think about moving forward when you encounter a frustrating moment with high level. First of all, one of the ways that the high level developers solicit input from us is through this ideas board. So if you encounter an issue, one of the things you do is just search here and see if that issue has already been raised, and if so, make your comment um, and or vote if that issue, or if the issue isn't already, so if the issue is already there, vote for it and add a comment clarifying the notes or issues that you encountered that had the same basic issue. If it's not there, then add a new suggestion. Um, what I will say is that I know most um, most of the time people, when they're entering a new suggestion, it's just because they didn't search for the term that someone else used. Um, that's the reason I have my ideas boards find playlist, is because I find multiple places at times where there's different suggestions, but if when you read them, you realize they're the same basic idea. Um, then once the idea is on the ideas board, attend the town halls. In the town halls is where we can see the developers, the program product managers tell us what is on their current agenda and what is coming up in the near future that they're working on, and they're actively soliciting our input. So give them your input. If you're not available to attend at the time of the meeting, okay, that's fine. What you can do is in the HighLevel University, there is a town hall channel. And in the town hall channel, the recordings of the town halls are available, and you can comment on those town hall conversations. And then the other thing you can do is in the HighLevel Facebook group, and also in other Facebook groups that are owned by non-HighLevel themselves, by other HighLevel agencies, you can engage in conversations about that issue, and possibly solicit additional votes for the idea that you found on the ideas board that needs to be addressed. Sometimes, very often, our issues that we encounter are bugs with the system. And at that point, this is a test account. There's no real data in this account. You raise a ticket. So I mentioned, when you raise a ticket, how do you get support on that ticket? So you click help on your ticket on your account, and you can start a Zoom meeting. And if you're a new agency, you're only allowed to use the Zoom. I would submit that when you get on Zoom and they suggest that you should sign up for our priority premium support, until you know that you need it, you don't need it. Get on Zoom, have the conversation with them, get your issue resolved, get the ticket started. You can also start a chat with Highly, the support specialist bot, and Highly will work you through some of your troubleshooting, and often you'll realize what the error isn't a bug in the system, it's a user error, and I'll talk about user errors here in a moment. But if it is an actual issue that needs to be addressed, and sometimes there are settings that we as the agencies don't have control of, and so we have to go to level 1 support to get them to change a setting. So if you're having the conversation with Highly and it's not working out, then you say, hey, can I talk to the human? And you roll over and you have the conversation with the human. This is the level 1 support. They don't know as much as you know about your problem, about your deliverables, about your project, about your client. What they know is what the documentation says about how HighLevel works. So that's a limitation of the people at level 1. It's not a disrespecting of them. It's understanding what their capabilities and limitations are. Once the conversation with Highly is done, or with the human agent, then the conversation will be escalated to be a ticket. Or you can, if you're rolling in here and you don't need to have a conversation with the level 1 person to change a setting, you just need to send them an email, have them change the setting overnight, and you can get to it tomorrow. You can use just to raise a ticket. And so people talking about this, raise an email ticket is the way they describe it. Once the ticket is raised, then you will be able to find it in your ticket list, in your HighLevel support portal under your tickets. And this is the part that I think a lot of people miss. They think that once they have a ticket that's raised as an email ticket, they have to wait until they get an email to reply to that email. You don't have to wait for a reply to the email. You can simply come here to your portal and click on this message. I think this one's been resolved, so I'm going to refresh and see what happens. Sure. Oh, it says it's waiting on me. Okay, nice. So you come in here and you see the title of your ticket. You can click on it, and this says I received your ticket, understand your concern, and I'm glad it's resolved. He's going to close it, but he actually hasn't. Even if it's closed, so I'm going to say this. Reply. Move the formatting so it's all the same. And then the reply button is way down here at the bottom. Why that icon is so big is beyond me, but it is what it is. So I'm going back to my ticket list and it's being processed, but I can actually close it, close the issue. Being processed means you sent some information to them, and it's up to them to respond. Um, Waiting on you means they've made the last entry and it's waiting for some kind of response from you. So notice it's cleared now, but I can go and look at my past resolved tickets and I can reopen in one of these tickets simply by adding a new comment. If I add a new comment, then it will reopen this ticket. And now it'll be back into being processed status. Okay, so that's tickets. Check status of your tickets. Always submit the ticket. That ticket gives feedback to the system that then they have to log and keep track of all of these glitches that are being reported, all of these bugs that are being reported, all of the documentation wasn't clear, and so I ran into a problem, even though it was actually a user error. If you can get the issue resolved just talking to the support bot, then you never end up with a ticket. All right. Sometimes our frustration is that we come to the platform with our own experiences and we assume that the platform should work the way we expect it to work. And when that happens, sometimes we end up with a case where we don't know why it's not doing what we want it to do, but all the documentation that we're finding says it's supposed to be able to do what we want it to do. So once you have a ticket, you can come back here and post your concern. Oh, even if you don't have a ticket, if you have found all the documentation, you have a screenshot of what issue you encountered, you will often find 3 to 5 people who will tell you the thing that you missed. So you just post it here. You post it in some of the other Facebook groups that are owned by people who are in the high level space, and someone will tell you the mistake you made. Sometimes our frustration is induced by the fact that we learned how to do a thing inside high level, but the platform is evolving so rapidly. The platform is changing so rapidly that what we learned is no longer correct. The user interface standards are not strict, and even then they aren't consistently applied, and the result is a user experience which is inconsistent. But just like with the situation where we know it should do the thing, we're just not quite sure what we're doing wrong. If you take the screenshot and show what you're trying to do and you post it into this group or into a similar group, someone will tell you what you're doing wrong. And I have had to apologize several times, and I have deleted comments and I have deleted posts because I realized that I was the one that was in the wrong because I was doing something the way I learned it instead of the new way. Here's one way you can try to keep up with all of the changes. every day there is new changes in the platform. This is as of yesterday, December 15th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is December 12th. 6 changes on December 15th. If you don't read the changelog on a regular basis, you will get left behind because there will be changes that you will not have kept up with, that you will not be aware of. So there's already one published today. So I'm Keith Bashirs. I'm the bald guy. I help small businesses with marketing theory, tactics, techniques, training, and technology, and specifically how the technology high level applies to implementing the techniques and theory that move a business from wherever it is to wherever it's trying to go.